hello, hello. Hi, how are you? Oh my god! Oh my god, it's the end! It's not the end. It's never the end. This Scumville is never the end, guys. Oh, is my chat working? It's working. Okay. Cool. Speaking of tea, I almost dropped $60 on tea today. Whoa! I decided to wait to think about before. Yeah, I guess. $60 is a lot for tea, but if it's good tea, it's good tea. Anyway, hi. I just took my meds, so this will be fun. Anyway, before we start, before I get yapping away, we are on chapter 32. Wedding! We're on the last chapter of volume 4 of the last book. Except there are extras, but I need to go and hunt for translations that I need to ask the translators to be like, hey, can I read this on stream? And what if they say no? What do I do then? What do I do then? Hi, chat. I don't know. We will figure it out. Anyway, how's your day going? How are you? I've been out today, and so I'm weird. But I just ate. I just ate real good. So I'm good. I'm alright. I'm alright. Yippee! Yippee! Hi, derp. Alright. I don't know. I'm stalling a little bit. I'm stalling a little bit because I don't want this to end. Totally spaces out on what I did today. I feel. Sometimes it's hard to remember. Sometimes you need a refresher or something. Oh my god, I woke up so early today. I don't. Oh my god, I woke up at like 12. Okay, that is noon, but also I went to sleep at like 5 a.m. So. Hey, chill out. I mean, it's true, but chill out. What the hell? Anyway, I have some tea. A whole 5 a.m. A whole 5 a.m. Crazy. It's earlier than I went to sleep the night before. Or morning before, I guess. But yeah, that's what happened. I got up because I was going out. And I had coffee this morning as well. And a sweet potato. It was very good breakfast, but it was also way too little, and then I got hungry so fast. And then I was hungry for like 4 hours. Don't worry about it. Thankfully, I've been getting to bed a lot earlier since my tummy has not been as angry in recent years. Oh, nice! I'm happy for you, Shilin. What you thinking about reading? It wasn't even a whole sweet potato. It was a half of a sweet potato. But it gets stuck in my throat too easily. Ugh. We are reading Scumvillain. Oh man. Oh man, it's the end. Oh man, it's the end. This one's gonna be a short stream because this last chapter is only a couple pages. Like 20 pages maybe. So yeah. Oh really? Huge Japanese sweet potato on the counter, and to be honest, I don't know what to eat it. Bake it and eat it. I love sweet potato. I love how sweet potato can just be eaten, you know? You can just boop and then you know? I mean, you can't just eat it. You have to bake it, but it's awesome. It's awesome. Well, alright, should we do it? Are we doing it? I think this one might be prawn. I don't quite remember. I think it's like almost prawn, but I don't think it's actually. I don't remember. I don't remember. It's one bite prawn. No, don't do that. That's scary. I do have apple juice. I'll have some later. Prawn the fish, yes. prawn. Or no, the crustacean, actually. They're not fish. Be so fucking for real. Alright, okay, I'm gonna pick up this book now. I'm gonna do it, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna be fine. We're all gonna be fine. It's fine. It's fine, we still have extras. I've been doing this for so long. I've been reading this book for so fucking long. I don't remember how long, but it's been a while. It's been quite a while. Alright. Fuck it, wedding. Page 353. Let me get cozy. Let me get comfortable. My pedals are in the way. Alright, let's do this. Shen Qingqiu walked for a few steps, waving his fan, before he discovered that the person who had been clinging so tightly to him this whole time hadn't come along. He turned around to see Luo Bingke standing in place, staring at something in a state of distraction. Curious, Shen Qingqiu asked, "Bingke, what are you looking at?" Only at this did Luo Bingke snap out of it. "Shizun, Shen Qingqiu was even more curious now. He walked back and looked in the same direction Luo Bingke was staring, only to see a lively crowd gathered before a moderately sized residence as they surrounded a couple of crimson-clad newlyweds, whose faces were obscured. At present, the rowdy gathering was moving into the courtyard. The street was loud in the first place, so he hadn't noticed that a couple was holding a wedding right in front of them. 2 young maids were standing at the gates, handing out wedding candy from the baskets on their arms to passerby. In crisp voices, they called, "Spreading good fortune, spreading good fortune." Shen Qingqiu's first thought was classic wet blanket. Has this family been beset by some evil creature or ghost? Hi, Aries. They are getting wet at the... They are getting wet. At least your VTuber can hold a book. Shut up. But no matter how he looked, he couldn't find anything strange. Just as he was about to ask, he saw Luo Bingke walk over on his own. The young maids had never seen a handsome man of his caliber, and both were struck dumb as soon as they looked up, forgetting to even hand over their candy. Luo Bingke ended up taking it from their hands himself with serene poise. After acquiring their wedding candy, Luo Bingke returned to Shen Qingqiu's side, satisfied. "Shizun, let's go." Shen Qingqiu nodded. The 2 of them walked for a while, shoulder to shoulder. Luo Bingke was still playing with those 2 round wedding candies wrapped in red paper, and he took another look back. Whoa, what the fuck? And he took another look back at that festively decorated residence with its streams of people flowing in and out. He still seemed to be thinking about something. It is tea time. It's not tea time, that's too hot. Oh yeah, that's good. Woohoo! Is there something up with that residence? Shen Qingqiu asked. Tea time. Luo Bingke started. What does Shizun mean by something up with it? If there was nothing up with it, why would you pay it so much attention? You don't even like candy. A look of understanding came over Luo Bingke's face, and he smiled. It's nothing, just sharing in the good fortune. He was so earnest when he spoke that Shen Qingqiu couldn't help but smile. This master doesn't recall you believing in such things. Have you never seen anyone get married before? It's not that I haven't seen it. I just never imagined that sort of thing could have anything to do with myself. And this chapter is called Wedding? You never imagined marrying a girl in the future? Luo Bingke shook his head. No, because he was gay from the start, you idiot! Shen Qingqiu felt this was rather unscientific. Really? Not even a bit? No matter how you put it, Luo Bingke, the former Luo Bingke, that was the male protagonist of a stallion novel. How could he never have nursed any beautiful hopes of that kind? And with airplanes shooting towards the sky's shitty tendencies, his beautiful hopes would hardly have stopped at marrying. His beautiful hopes would hardly have stopped at marrying a beautiful woman. They would have been more like marrying a 3-digit number of beautiful women all at once, at minimum. Of course, Shen Qingzhou knew the current Luo Binghe wouldn't do such a thing, but how could he never even have thought about it? How could he have thought that marriage had nothing to do with him? Luo Binghe thought, then said, I truly never imagined it before. Shen Qingzhou noticed that before. So you mean to say you think such things have something to do with you now? He teased. Unexpectedly, this time, Luo Binghe didn't reply. Shouldn't Susanoo was far too intimidated by your lofty self to dare dream of marriage. You were his sexual awakening. Of course he's not. Oh my god. Such a nice voice to listen to while I'm working. Yippee! That's a short little scene break. I hope my sinuses clear up a little bit. Just a little would be nice. Okay. After that incident, over the next few nights, Shen Qingzhou didn't know if it was just him, but Luo Binghe seemed to be especially energetic. Meanwhile, his own old waist, hips, and legs were suffering even more than usual. They returned to Sangchong Mountain every 2 months to visit the family. Because of this, no one was surprised whenever they showed up again. Instead, they enthusiastically surrounded them while munching on their dragon bone cantaloupe seeds. Eh? Who is this? Qi Qingqi started. Isn't this the Qingjing Peak Lord? You're back again? A rare guest! I fucking love her. It is he, said Shen Qingzhou. Oh, I love them! Oh my god. Did you bring any local specialties from the demon realm, aside from that one next to you? Sass Queen. They're both so sassy together. I love the team, the two of them. God. Luo Binghe clearly grew from the human realm's soil. He shouldn't count as a demonic specialty either way, should he? Shen Qingzhou thought. Even if I did, no one would want to eat them, so I didn't bring any. Suddenly, a young man walked over, dangling something in his hand. Shen Qingzhou called out, Lushidi, long time no see. What is this? Luchinga mentioned. Expressionlessly caught the feebly grasping thing that Shen Qingzhou had thrown back at him and tossed it back. Oh, my mute button doesn't work. It's okay. Stop it. Okay. Where was I? And tossed it back. A short-haired beast, he said. It's edible. Shen Qingzhou chucked it at him again. I'm not eating it. I still have the one you gave me years back. It's grown enormous, and it spends all day gnawing at the bamboo on Qingjing Peak. I don't want another. The two of them tossed the short-haired beast back and forth as it shrieked midair. I fucking love it. Oh my god, just had to read the picture. Mixed Emotions by Lorth on AO3 if you're interested. Was I'm coming back to this. Join the Discord and send the link. Send the link. Oh my god. Why would you do that right now? Okay, everyone close your ears if you don't want to hear an ara. There. Done. Okay. You're good. Right, they're tossing this fucking thing. Wei Jingwei, I keep forgetting who this fucker is. Shen Shishong, I think you should just take it, Wei Qingwei cut in. If one of them is male and the other is female, and you put them together, maybe they'll be drawn to each other and won't gnaw on the bamboo anymore. I think they will gnaw. Okay. But what if they're both males? Silence. In the past, when Lu Qingge walked over, Luo Binghe would have begun to emanate an icy aura and make all sorts of snide remarks. Enmity on full display. How do you fucking say that word? Enmity? But today he seemed to be in a bit of a daze, standing by Shen Qingzhou's side and not saying a word. Shen Qingzhou found this rather strange. Not only did he find it strange, everyone else found it strange too. Whenever the sex siblings from Sangchong Mountain got together, the conversation never stopped, and any little remark could be played on forever. But today, their conversation was extremely short. They usually headed off to Zhujian Peak. Zhujian Peak to have a meal together, but seemingly because of Luo Binghe's strange aura, no one brought up doing so. Before everyone scattered, Qi Qingqi dragged Shen Qingzhou to the side and asked, "What's up with your disciple?" "What do you mean, what's up?" "Today, your disciple... did you have an argument?" "We didn't." Shen Qingzhou didn't show anything on his face, but his hand tightened around his fan. "Oh, then that's good. But I feel like your disciple was so odd today, like he was holding something in." Shen Qingzhou felt it too. When they returned to the bamboo house, Luo Binghe was still in that strange state. Shen Qingzhou had just sat down on the bamboo couch when a huge crash came from the doorway. He rushed around the screen only to see Luo Binghe sprawled on the floor, with Ming Fan, Ning Yingying, and the other disciples gasping at him in shock. Shen Qingzhou went to help Luo Binghe up. "What happened?" "It's nothing." Before Luo Binghe could finish speaking, Ming Fan yelled, "Shizun, Luo Binghe tripped over the threshold!" They're a pile of kittens! They're a pile of kittens! Oh my god. Shen Qingzhou had no words. I'm sorry, I'm at the illustration, but it's not time yet. Luo Binghe glared at Ming Fan, and Ming Fan shrank back in fear. "Be on your way," Shen Qingzhou said hurriedly. "Go prepare for morning readings tomorrow." As he closed the door, Luo Binghe silently sat down next to the table. Shen Qingzhou looked at the red spot where his forehead had smashed to the ground and sighed. "What's been up with you these past few days?" Luo Binghe was still silent. "Sit and don't move. This master will get you a hot compress. Compress? He turned to go to the water basin, but just when he had wrung out a strip of cloth, he heard another huge crash behind him. He startled and turned around only to find Luo Binghe sprawled on the floor again. Confusion written on his face, and worried that Luo Binghe was too dizzy to sit or stand, Shen Qingzhou rushed over. "Are you—" But as soon as he reached him, Luo Binghe grabbed his arms. One second. One second. One second. Give me a second. Ah! That's too big. Shizun, marry yourself to me, won't you? Shen Qingzhou's expression cracked just a bit. Having noticed how unusual Shen Qingzhou's expression was, Luo Binghe hurriedly said, "Shizun, if you don't want to marry yourself to me, I could also marry myself to you." When Shen Qingzhou didn't reply, Luo Binghe's voice went monotone, and he asked again, "Shizun, are you willing to... His Adam's apple trembled more and more, and his voice began to quiver as well. "Marry me?" Shen Qingzhou still didn't say anything. Bit by bit, the fire in Luo Binghe's eyes dimmed. After a long time, he said, "Rude?" After a long time, he said in a hoarse voice, "If Shizun is unwilling, I... Slow down," said Shenjingzhou. He struggled for a while. "So, these past few days, you were acting so odd because you wanted to ask me this?" Lobinka stared at him, then carefully nodded twice. Shenjingzhou found the next few words difficult to get out of his mouth. "So you're... Lobinka helped him finish. "I'm sure he will." "This disciple is proposing to Shizun." Shenjingzhou was speechless. He sat down at the table and buried his face in his right hand. He didn't know what he should do. He didn't know what he should say or do. He should have found it absurd, even though he and Lobinka had confirmed their relationship a long time ago. He had never imagined that Lobinka would actually... How should he put it? Propose to him. Holy shit! He had proposed to him! This word was profoundly frightening when applied to a young man like this. Who knew how many times Lobinka had practiced in private just to say these few words? Not to mention how he had been so nervous that he'd been completely strange and abnormal, unable to even talk. He'd tripped over the threshold just trying to walk inside, and he'd even stuttered. But Shenjingzhou didn't want to make fun of him at all, nor did he want to play hard to get. Yep, Shenjingzhou was terrified to realize that the scariest part was that he was actually just a bit happy. At least a few times, but not as many as Hua-chang. Oh my god, Hua-chang is a mess. He's a boy failure, for real. Lobinka was clearly still nervous. His throat bobbed up and down. When Shenjingzhou removed his face from his hand, he took the chance to say, "Shizun, if you don't want to, you don't need to answer my question. If you don't answer, I'll still understand what you mean. Please don't say it out loud, it doesn't matter. If you think it's too much trouble, you can just ignore me. Just pretend I was making a joke, it's fine." Shenjingzhou smacked him across the head with his fan, furious. "It's fine my ass!" Having been suddenly smacked by the fan, Lobinka touched his head and blinked, clearly not understanding why he had been hit. This innocent expression made Shenjingzhou nearly choke on anger. He had just begun to feel happy about it when this brat, in the next moment, said, "It's fine, you don't need to answer, just pretend I was making a joke." The last bit in particular sent Shenjingzhou into a rage, and he lashed out to smack him with the fan again. "Is this anything to joke about?" Lobinka quietly took the hit and whimpered, "I was wrong." "Of course you were wrong, and this master was just about to say yes. Lobinka was halfway through apologizing when he started. "Shizun," he said carefully. "What was that?" "Nothing at all," said Shenjingzhou. God. "Shizun!" Shenjingzhou sighed. He didn't say anything, but he motioned Lobinka to come closer. As expected, Lobinka moved. Given his total familiarity with every movement of Shenjingzhou's body, the mere sight of Shenjingzhou motioning at him meant he didn't need a single verbal instruction to understand the intent. He obediently went to pour a cup of wine. Then Shenjingzhou took the jar and poured himself a cup, after which he motioned Lobinka to take the other. He tried, but then he fell face first into haha, what if we can he really did. He really did. They both did. Oh my god, MXDX. You have a type, maybe? I don't know. Oi! Shizun, is this... Shenjingzhou picked up the cup he had poured himself and wound his arm around Lobinka's. Lobinka's handsome face immediately began to glow with life. His hand shook so much that he nearly dropped the cup, and his arm trembled to a frightening degree. With their arms crossed, Shen Qingzhou nearly spilled the wine in his own cup all over his chest. I thought, Luo Bingke stammered out. You thought you would definitely be rejected, didn't you? Shen Qingzhou said expressionlessly. Luo Bingke had no reply to that. You said you didn't want to hear the answer, because you thought you would definitely be rejected. A silence. I was extremely anxious. Luo Bingke looked straight into Shen Qingzhou's eyes. Shizun, that day, didn't you ask me if I truly hadn't imagined such things before? I really never did. You're allowed to imagine, Shen Qingzhou said. There was nothing wrong with fantasizing. Was fantasizing illegal now? Besides, what about the chance that your fantasies could actually be realized? When I was young, I thought that no one could want a person like me, said Luo Bingke. So I never imagined that anyone would be willing to have me. You're far off the mark. Later on, Luo Bingke continued, I had Shizun. You were clearly already by my side, but even so, I could never overcome my anxiety. I felt that you might leave me at any time. I didn't know what I should do. I wanted to become stronger, and I wanted to become better, but I still felt like I wasn't enough. I still couldn't stop myself from being afraid. Shen Qingzhou also looked straight into his eyes. After a while, he stroked Luo Bingke's head and sighed. Oh, Bingke. I still don't know what I should do now. Then just do what you want to. The scene break. I also want to put on my arm braces. I should have done that before. My wrist braces, rather. Yes. Car's a little loud. Oof. Woohoo! Okay. They're getting married! Important to do the health things. It is! It's so important. It's so important. It's so annoying that it's so important, but it is important. Velcro ASMR. Alright, we're on page 363. Oh, I can take this down now. Yes. Oh, but it's so beautiful. Look at them. Okay. Wrong pedal. Okay, there we go. 4 hours later, they sat across from each other on the bed, shedding their clothes. Luo Bingke had been terribly stubborn about certain things. He had instantly pulled out 2 sets of bridegroom's robes from who knew where, begging and cajoling Shen Qingzhou to put them on and go through the full proceedings again with him, to bow to the heavens and earth, drink the cross-cup wine, and retreat to the bridal chamber. They're going to consummate their marriage. Shen Qingzhou found himself thinking, that's the wrong one. Even if we put the wedding clothes on, won't we just take them off again later? He sort of wanted to laugh, but he let Luo Bingke do as he pleased. He'd really never thought that Luo Bingke would be the traditional type, constantly dreaming about getting married. At the same time, while it made him want to laugh, he was also overcome with affection, and he began to take it seriously as he got too caught up in the mood. Luo Bingke's own red clothes were half off when he started staring at Shen Qingzhou and lost the ability to move. What do you want to bet he has had those in a jungle pouch since before? Shen Qingzhou detonated! Oh my god! You have a good point. That's amazing. Wedding ceremony. Luo Bingke's own red clothes were half off when I just read that. Binka? Asked Shen Qingqiu. What is it? Shizun, you look really good in red, Lo Binka said in an earnest tone. Shen Qingqiu's skin was fair, and the red of the wedding robes cast a rosy tint on his face, adding an eye-catching splash to his usual appearance. And Lo Binka's gaze, as he drank him in, was even more besotted than usual. Shen Qingqiu started, then let out a light cough. Though Lo Binka always talked like that, he was still rather embarrassed. He said reservedly, You also look very good in red. Very good was barely sufficient to describe the effect. He didn't believe a single girl could look at such a handsome bridegroom and not cry and wail to marry him. He was about to compliment him further when he saw Lo Binka bring out a sheet of snow-white silk and reverently spread it over the bed. Shen Qingqiu felt an ominous premonition. What are you doing? Lo Binka blushed. This disciple heard that this is the common rule for a newlywed couple's wedding night. Before he could finish, Shen Qingqiu felt goosebumps erupt all over his body. Any other rules or traditions were fine, but this tradition was way too strange when applied to him. Shizun, this disciple swears he won't really let you bleed, Lo Binka said hurriedly, red-faced. I just wanted to go through every step of the ceremony, like a real married couple. Shen Qingqiu blushed. Let's just forget these kinds of superfluous... superfluous... Let's just forget about these superfluous... I can't read... superfluous formalities. Whoa. Superfluous form... It's saying both of those. Superfluous formalities. My chrysanthemum spider sense. Oh man. Formalities. He was just about to take away the white sheet when he saw Lo Binka looking at him, on the verge of tears. He could never withstand Lo Binka looking at him like that, and now he couldn't bear to do away with the sheet. After a long time, he helplessly forced out a few words. But, as you said, even if we lay it out, it won't be of any use. Lo Binka looked hurt as he replied, But without this essential item and this essential step, how can it count as a wedding night? A beat. Fine. If you insist, just leave it. Lo Binka promptly hugged him and buried his head in the crook of Shen Qingqiu's shoulder. Shizun, you're so good to this disciple. Shen Qingqiu forced himself to stay calm. I'm so. As he spoke, he felt one of the arms around him going in the wrong direction. Lo Binka efficiently stripped Shen Qingqiu until not a stitch remained upon him, leaving only a pair of snow-white calf-length socks on his feet. Time to drive home until... Okay, have a good drive. I don't know why I felt like turning the page. I'm not turning the page yet. Socks! Even though this master-disciple pair had done it countless times already, for a person like Shen Qingqiu, some matters of pride couldn't be entirely conquered, no matter how many times no matter how many times it had been. When he looked at Lo Binka looming oh my god, I can read. When he looked at Lo Binka looming over him, he felt faintly nervous. He tilted his head and closed his eyes, feeling one hand land on the inside of his thigh, trying to spread open his legs. He rested a bit at first, but soon... he resisted a bit at first, but soon he went along with it and spread them. He felt a finger on his lips as Lo Binka cajoled him. Shizun. Shen Qingqiu opened his lips a crack, allowing Lo Binka to put a finger in his mouth. He licked it with a light touch. Because his eyes were still closed, the sensation of that slender finger stirring around in the warm cavity of his mouth, playing with his tongue, was even clearer. One wasn't enough, and soon a second finger was pushed in. As Lo Binka took in Shen Qingqiu struggling to take his fingers deeper, wetting them more with his tongue, His eyes sparkled. He pulled them out and reached towards Shen Qingqiu's lower body. After some ministrations, the tight, pale hole in the valley between Shen Qingqiu's thighs was dripping wet, looking incredibly soft to the touch. It's a way to say it, I guess. No. Luo Bingke laid himself over Shen Qingqiu, careful not to crush him. Shen Qingqiu felt a hard, hot, round head press against that most secret part of him, and his entrance opened around the front half of the tip of that ferocious member. He could even feel the forceful... Guys... He could even feel the forceful pumping of its arteries. That's crazy. Shizun, Luo Bingke said in a low voice. I'm going in. Shen Qingqiu had kept his eyes closed for the whole time, but he nodded slightly. Luo Bingke held his waist with both hands, then plunged forward. Shen Qingqiu couldn't keep a groan of pain from escaping his throat, and he grabbed the arm Luo Bingke had locked around his waist. Even if he had made his mental preparations and relaxed himself as much as he could, if it didn't fit, it didn't fit. Luo Bingke's cock wasn't even halfway in before it was caught in place. The person beneath him was warm and soft within, but that ring of muscle at his entrance refused to cooperate, clamping down and keeping him from going deeper. Luo Bingke spared one hand to stroke up and down Shen Qingqiu's cock. Pleasure trailed through Shen Qingqiu with the attention, and when Luo Bingke felt him relax a little, leaving room to advance, he continued to push forward. This is so fun. Maxie X writes clown coin. Yeah, she does. She really does. Oh, man. Being split open was extremely uncomfortable. Shen Qingqiu's back arched, unwittingly presenting the two pale bumps on his chest to Luo Bingke's face. Luo Bingke's hand wandered up to rub his nipples. As a man, Shen Qingqiu didn't really like when someone played with that part of him, as it filled him with a strange feeling of humiliation. He went to push Luo Bingke away with a trembling hand, but then Luo Bingke leaned down, and a strangely wet and swollen sensation came from the right side of his chest. Shen Qingqiu's face flushed so red it practically looked like it could drip blood, and he hurriedly tried to push Luo Bingke's head away. But just as he started to panic and become distracted, Luo Bingke sank down again and buried himself entirely into that place between his legs. Huh? Oh. That's buried. Okay, yeah. Found coin is a... I'm Mothman. Yeah. I'm just gonna keep going. Shen Qingqiu felt as if his entire body had been split in two by a blade of flesh, and pain exploded in his lower body. The pain spread from Luo Bingke's excessively large cock, bulldozing through his insides as it advanced into his passage, making him feel as if a whole arm had been stuffed inside him. Crazy. And that large, full head was like the fist on the end of that arm, nearly making him wanting to pass out on the spot. But as Luo Bingke adeptly brushed past a certain spot inside Shen Qingqiu, his cry of pain changed its tune. Luo Bingke held him by the waist and rammed against that spot. After several more rounds of this, his hole finally softened, along with the tightly clenched muscles of his rear. MXTX, why do you make me read this? Why do you do this to me? As soon as he relaxed, that place on Shen Qingqiu's lower body became awfully sweet. His entrance was long and deep, warm and wet, and it could be plunged into all at once while it was powerless to resist. From Luo Bingke's angle, he could see how Shen Qingqiu looked beneath him just by glancing down. Shen Qingzhou's eyes were closed, brow faintly knitted, expression hovering between unbearable pain and unbearable pleasure. His thighs were spread, his long, smooth, and pencil-straight legs folded up to his chest, and his white socks were still properly snug on his feet. The sight excited Lobinka beyond measure. Not everyone can live up to their size queen ambition. I'm 100% here to watch Lobinka honk Shen Qingzhou's nose. Oh, God. Oh, brother. Shen Qingzhou's hands were clenched in the sheets, and he took every slam of Lobinka's cock inside him with gritted teeth, each one making him fear that his internal organs were getting rammed out of place. But there was nothing he could do but wrap his legs around Lobinka's waist and adjust his own rhythm, clenching and relaxing as he took Lobinka in and out. The soft flesh around his entrance burned with pain from the friction, and he hissed, "Binka, gentler." He felt he had definitely still ended up bleeding. Lobinka looked down, then froze. Sure enough, a dark red streak trailed down from the point of their joining and seeped into the snow-white sheet, spreading in a bright patch of color like a fallen peach blossom petal. After a long time, Lobinka murmured, "Shizun, I'm sorry. I said I wouldn't actually let you bleed, but I still..." Shen Qingzhou was getting fucked to death and back, and he had absolutely no strength to prop himself up and look at his lower half. Either way, he didn't need to look to know it would be a frightful sight. The worst part was how, even as Lobinka apologized, the movement of his hips didn't slow in the slightest. His movements were so forceful that Shen Qingzhou slid up and down as his bottom both prickled and ached. Don't what? Don't call me Shizun." Getting called Shizun at this sort of time, when his ass was blossoming right in front of him, always made him feel like he had been rather too assiduous in his role as a mentor. "If I can't call you Shizun, then what should I call you?" Shen Qingzhou sobbed. "Anything you want, anything. Slow down. Binka, slow down." Lobinka slid an arm around his waist and gave him another 2 hard thrusts, took a gasping breath, and said, "Okay then. Shizun, if you also call me something different, I'll slow down." With his waist being lifted, Shen Qingzhou felt that enormous thing plunge even deeper inside him. "Call you what?" Lobinka paused in his movements, still holding him, and said, extremely bashful and reserved, It's our wedding night, Shizun. Tell me, what should you be calling me?" Silence. "Help me! Ah!" Shen Qingzhou shook his head frantically. Lobinka was still waiting in blissful anticipation. "Shizun, that's what I want you to call me, okay?" To his disappointment, Shen Qingzhou clenched his jaw, refusing to open his mouth, even as tears welled in the corner of his eyes. At the sight of his resistance, Lobinka's eyes instantly filled with tears. "Shizun," he said in dismay, "we've already come this far, and you... Why will you still not?" Lobinka sounded extremely distressed. Shen Qingzhou told himself he definitely wouldn't fall for this again. But Lobinka's tears were basically some kind of fantastical item that he could summon with a snap, and just like that, they began dripping down. "Just once," said Lobinka. "If Shizun is unwilling, do it just this once. I'll remember, and I won't push you to do it ever again after today. Is that still no good?" Shen Qingzhou's face was showered in Lobinka's tears as that thing assaulted his insides, leaving him in practically unspeakable suffering. "When you're like this, how am I supposed to say no?" In the end, Shen Qingzhou decided to concede one more time. But there would definitely, absolutely not be a next one. With difficulty, he sucked in a breath and struggled to say in a quiet voice, "Husband." Lobinka's eyes immediately lit up. "Shizun, what did you say?" Shen Qingzhou repeated. The latter half of the word was as quiet as a mosquito's buzz, furtively swallowed as he switched to pleading. "Binka, you slow down, would you?" But how could Lobinka let him get away with it just like that? "Shizun, a bit louder. I didn't hear you clearly." In a surge of passion, he got overly excited, and his movements became greater as well. After a few hard thrusts, Shen Qingzhou felt as if his organs were roiling in his stomach, and finally, he fully surrendered. Shen Qingzhou's hands tugged helplessly at Lobinka's hair as he sobbed and cried out, Husband, I'm begging you, stop! I can't take it anymore. I really can't take it anymore." Before he finished crying, Lobinka picked Shen Qingzhou up entirely and made him sit in his lap as he plunged into the deepest spot inside him, one arm under his rear and the other around his waist as he moved him up and down. In bliss, he called out, "Wife, save me!" Again. I did it again. As soon as he heard this, Shen Qingzhou's entire body, including his whole, clenched tight in despair. "Holy fuck! Shut up! Don't call me things at random!" But Lobinka didn't listen to a single one of his protests. He forced Shen Qingzhou up and down on his cock and I can't, as he embraced him. "Shizun, you're the best," he said quietly. "I always wanted you to call me that. Can you do it a few more times?" A flow of warmth trailed down the back of his neck. Shen Qingzhou didn't need to look to know that Lobinka was sobbing again. Shen Qingzhou truly had no defenses against him whatsoever. Their limbs were intertwined, both of them sticky with hot sweat. Lobinka's waist and his back shone with moisture, and Shen Qingzhou nearly couldn't hold on with his legs alone, so he hooked his arms around Lobinka's neck to stop himself from sliding down. This drew them even closer, until the space between them was practically non-existent, and he left a smattering of passionate kisses on Lobinka's face in encouragement. To Lobinka, this cooperation was like candy given to a child. His eyes lit up in joy, and his lower body worked with even more force. The solid, rigid, flared head growing... God, I don't like this. The solid, rigid, flared head ground back and forth in Shen Qingzhou's well-tormented hole until he finally surrendered and entirely stopped trying to clench his jaw, letting out a cry of both pain and pleasure. Lobinka loved this sound more than anything. He loved every sound Shen Qingzhou made. My bad. Before Shen Qingzhou What? There's a misspelling. Before Shen Qingzhou's consciousness faded completely, he still heard Lobinka whisper in his ear, "Shizun, call me that again." Can we all take a moment? That's a scene break. That's the end of the prawn. Can I just take a break? What the fuck? That was something. X-ray view when? For real? I'm sure there's art of that. I am 100% sure there's art of that. I'm definitely sure I've seen art of that, so. My god. We have like 3 pages left. Nope, we have 2 pages left. We have 2 pages left! Oh my god. I'm going to snooze this ad just in case. And then we're gonna keep going. We're almost done. We're on page 371. When he woke up the next morning, Shen Qingzhou's first thought was that he wanted to smash himself to death against that extremely well-developed short-haired beast on Qingjing Peak. He swore up. What? He swore up and down that he'd lost his entire life's worth of face last night. He absolutely couldn't suffer another moment more... What? He absolutely couldn't suffer another moment more embarrassing than that. Lobinka lay beside him in high spirits. As soon as he saw that Shen Qingqiu was awake, he swooped in for a kiss. Shen Qingqiu suspected he hadn't slept at all, and that he'd stayed up, staring at him the whole night. Pretending to be asleep would be pointless. He wanted to say something, but his throat was too hoarse that he only got a few slurred sounds. With that kiss, Lobinka seemed to have gotten everything he wanted. Shizun, get some rest. I'll make breakfast for you. He was about to get up and get dressed when Shen Qingqiu mumbled out a few words. What is it? Lobinka asked. Shen Qingqiu's face was already very red, and with Lobinka's question, his flush became even more evident. He mumbled, Nothing. Lobinka wanted to press him on it, but he controlled himself. Then I'll go make breakfast. He carefully covered Shen Qingqiu's back up with a blanket, turned and got off the bed, where he picked up the clothes on the ground and slowly put them on. Shen Qingqiu sat on the bed, the clothes that Lobinka had pulled over him draped over his body, and stared at Lobinka's slender and handsome silhouette from behind. He stared at him for a long while, and suddenly, as if he'd been possessed, mumbled, Husband? Lobinka's body froze. As if his entire person had been nailed to the spot, he turned around extremely slowly. Shizun, what did you just call me? Shen Qingqiu's tongue tied itself into knots. He wanted to explain, but there was nothing to explain. This master, As they said, people shouldn't trigger death flags. He'd just said he couldn't embarrass himself any further in this lifetime, and then he'd gone and embarrassed himself more right away. This time, Lobinka hadn't pushed him to the messy brink of passion, nor had his heart been softened by Lobinka's tears. There was no excuse. That was to say, he had simply, for some reason, wanted to try calling him that. But afterward, he was so embarrassed that he practically wanted to dig himself a hole on the spot, or bash himself to death against a chunk of tofu. In the end, Shen Qingqiu finally gave up on explaining himself and lay back down in defeat. Forcing himself to remain calm, he said, This master is hungry. Lobinka lay back down with him, smiling. Shizun, I'm hungry too. If you're hungry, then go cook. But being a bit late to breakfast once in a while was no big deal. And that's how it fucking ends. And that's the end. And that's the end. He got him. It's just that we know that he's gonna keep calling him that. He's gonna get over it being embarrassing, and then he's gonna keep calling it that, and that's how they're gonna live their lives as husbands. Now what? Guys, it's over. That's the end. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel. Claps. Yay! Hip hip hooray! Oh my god. That was so... It's over. It's over. What now? Oh, my tummy is doing things. What now? What do I do now? Guys, I got a notification that my box set should be coming soon. It's not shipping yet, but it's like reminder that your Scum Villain self-saving system box set is arriving. It will be shipped soon. I'm so excited. So excited. What if I do a hand cam stream for that? Wait, I'll do an unboxing my box. It'd be so fun. Oh my god. Ah! I'm fine. Everything's fine. So now we have the question. Do we read the extras? Do I go searching for the extras, for a translation of the extras? Or do we take a break for a little bit? What is life without Scum Villain? I don't know. I don't know. What do we do? What am I supposed to do? What's supposed to happen? I don't know if I can take a break. It's gonna... I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if it's possible. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah. that's that. How can I not? How can I not? I need Scum Villain. But if I take a break, then I can drag it out for a little longer. But also, why would I take a break? Or would I be starting another novel? I don't know. I have Peerless. I have Ballad of Sword and Wine, but I know that one's really complicated. I know that one gets really complicated. I have the other MXTX books, but those are kind of long. I don't know if I want to commit to that. But yeah, guys, what do we think of Scum Villain? Need you to read it? Eehee. Eehee. What do we think of Scum Villain? Overall. Just overall. I already know my thoughts. I love it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite book. It's my favorite series. I don't think it's ever not gonna be my favorite. It's so good, and the fandom is so involved, and it's just such a fun time. It's such a fun time. I love it. I think it's kind of been forefront of my brain for like 2 years. It's so easy to hyper focus on and to like special interest in. It's so good. It's so easy, and yeah, it's a fix. The fics are so good. It's so silly. It's so silly, and it's like just not complete enough to have good. To do so much with it. There's just so much you can do with it. It's so good. Peak literature being show is highest ranked MXTX of Tumblr. Really? MXTX ship. Wow. I thought the other gays would be higher, but no, for Tumblr that makes complete sense. Tarnished gold? Tarnished gold? I'm not sure what that is. No, my ads. I'm gonna snooze it again because fuck that. But yes. I do have to think about what I'm gonna be reading next. I have Peerless right here, but I also really want to read, what is it, Thrice Married to a Salted Fish or something? I really want to read that one. The fic where Shenyuan transmigrates as Kongi. Oh, wait, I started reading that one! Oh my god, wait. No, I know that one. I actually started listening to it, rather. I haven't finished listening to it. Hee, I should. That one's something. I don't remember where I was at it. It was in it. Maybe I should just start over. Sounds like a good time. Ugh. But yes. I guess that's all. I guess I really like, I forget what it's called, but it's a fic. It's a Tianlang Jun x Luchinga fic, where, you know, I'm sure you've heard of it. If you read any Scum Villain fics, it's this one. Where Luchinga is pissing off all the demons because they think that he's flirting with them, but he's just fighting with them. And then they're like, you know what, you should probably get married to a demon so that the demon realm and the human realm don't clash again. And then they're like, who could we? And then it's Tianlang Jun. It's so good. It's so fucking good. God, I love that one. They fight so much. They fight and then they fuck, and it's amazing. I love it. Yeon slash Jun. Oh my god. A multi-chipper, so I like that kind of stuff. Yes, I want them all to kiss. They go mwah 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 mwah. Smooching up a storm. I love it. Tea. Okay. But yes, I should have a Fic Rex channel in my server. I'm gonna make that as soon as I stop streaming. I'm gonna make that. Actually, I think I have reading. No, I don't remember. I'll do like reading Rex, and it could be fiction, fan fiction, or like general books and anime and stuff, or manga, or webcomics. Ooh, perfect. Okay. I feel like scummies are usual multi-shippers. Exactly. I love that. I love this so much because I hate like solo shippers. Not I hate them, but like I hate the ones that are like, no, you can't multi-ship. No, my OTP. You know, like come on, calm down, chill, just chill. I may need the link. It should be in my card, or not my card. Well, yeah. You know what? Let's send out Discord invites right now. Hee hee hee. Hee 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 hee. Hee 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 hee. Whoa, does this work? Join! I don't know if that works. Discord. By the way, guys, there's my Discord. But yes, I will make a channel ASAP. It's all sorts of fun over there. If also just be wary. Only go in the channels you want to go into. Anyway, I'm gonna go. We did that. It's such a short stream. I do have things to do, though. I have things to do, but I will. Wait, no, I'm leaving now. Goodbye. No. Oh yeah, I do have things to do, but we're gonna be back next week. Next week, if I can find some good translations, we're gonna be back reading the extras. But we might be in a different room. No, should we stay in this room? I don't know. We'll see. I might be able to put it up on screen, so we'll see. Okay. Okay, I'll see you later. I'll see you later. Thanks for listening to Skull Villa with me. It's been so awesome. I'm gonna cry. It's fine. I'm fine. I love it. Fun times. Fun times indeed. Alright. I think I'm just gonna go. I don't think I really want to raid right now. I'm going to see you later. Oh my god. Also, I didn't have my schedule up this week, but it's okay. We're fine. We're fine. I'll let people know when I'm streaming for the rest of the week, so. Alright, I'll see you later. And have a good rest of your day. Evening, night, whatever. Be safe. I'll see you later. Bye.